Hello, I'm Brian Glick, the Editor-in-Chief of Computer Weekly. Welcome to the January meeting of the CW500 Club at the Lancaster Hotel in London. I'm here talking to Peter Cochrane, who is one of the speakers at our meeting today. Peter's been addressing an audience of IT leaders looking at CIO issues for 2010, and I'm going to be having a quick chat with him just to review some of the key things that he's been talking about. Peter, for those of you who don't know him, describes himself as an engineer, scientist, entrepreneur, futurist and consultant, which I'm sure, by the sound of it, keeps you very busy, Peter.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining us, and thanks very much for coming along to the CW500 Club tonight. Very open question to start with then, Peter. What are the biggest challenges facing IT leaders as we come into 2010?
There are many, but I can think of three immediately that are absolute killers. One, the technology cycle is getting shorter. We're now changing technology at about a 9-month cycle. Yeah. We are seeing managers changing in about 2.5 years, and we're seeing people moving on in about 5 years. So as the technology changes, there's lots of demands. And of course, there are lots of young people coming in now into industry, and they have an expectation. They've been on computers all their lives, so they're asking questions like, why can't I have some cool apps on my PC? It's so slow. Why don't I use my own laptop? I got a better computer than this at home. And so CIOs are struggling with some of these issues.
I mean, what sort of pressures do those changing expectations and attitudes put onto an IT department?
Well, an IT department is very often criticised by those that are subject to their services that they're not like Google. If you've got a problem, you go to Google, they're responsive, they're user-friendly. Unfortunately, a lot of IT departments aren't. So getting a reply from the IT department that we're busy right now, we'll come and fix your machine or we'll fix your printer tomorrow is no good. The other big issue is a lot of the young people, dare I say it, seem to know as much as, and in some cases more than, the IT department. So you start to get conflicts. And so one of the big deals, I think, is things getting out of hand. Some youngster gets frustrated and starts to take the law into their own hands, builds their own sub-networks, put their own equipment in. And so we've got quite a bit of tension. There is also a continual do more for less. Yeah. There are technologies coming along like cloud computing, and on top of all of this you've got the security worries, all of those things all at the same time. It's quite a juggling act.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's all those traditional pressures you talk about. The conventional, lockdown process-oriented IT department having to battle against this much more open, much more flexible expectations that people have now among the user base. What will be your advice to IT leaders? What will be the key things that IT leaders should do to respond to those challenges?
Well, I think that they should ask a number of questions, and I very often ask them, do you know where your banking bits are? And they'll say no. Do you know where your medical bits are? No. Passport, driving license, insurance. They don't know where any of their bits are. But by instinct, when you say to them, okay, let's outsource all of this to Google or someone, they say, I need to see the server. I need to know where my bits are. Well, I don't know that you do. And in actual fact, I would bet that for the vast majority of organizations, you could see Google, Amazon and others providing a better level of service with greater security than these people can engineer themselves. The resources of these huge server farms are vast, and if they can stand up to attacks from, shall we say, rogue governments all over the world, I'm pretty damn sure they can do a good job for most companies.
Yeah. So if there was one practical thing that you would suggest to an IT leader to go out and do tomorrow, what would that be?
Listen to young people.
That's an interesting one. And that will certainly be a challenge for a lot of them as well.
Absolutely.
Peter, thanks very much for your views. Really interesting there. Some very pertinent advice, and it's clearly going to be a challenging year for people in IT.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for watching. CW500 will be back again next month, and we'll be putting together some more videos then of our speakers. Hope to see you again then. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.